Hey, I'm out here trimming up my Snow Squarestem and firebush that run outside the Florida room. And I think I'm going to dig up some of my rouge plants, like this one right here, and move them over underneath the Snow Squarestems because these are low-growing understory plants, and they get these really pretty white flowers and red berries, which you can't see right now, but they really do. There's a remnant of a red berry. But this one just came up on its own right here. It's not really supposed to be here. And I have them all planted over here in my shade garden. And there's other ones that are coming up that I didn't intend to have there. So I might dig some of those up and put them in so they'll fill in the space below and this garden bed that extends down the outside of my garden room. I think they'll be really pretty there too. And I love rouge plants. It's a Florida native, and it blooms year round, gets the little red berries. We should all have them all over our yard. So I think right now I'm going to go get that one and move it right down into there. Yeah, let's do that. I'm coming down here to get my shovel, and yesterday I cut the Snow Squarestem all the way down. And when I did, I realized how much space it was covering in my nectar garden. So I think I'm going to take it out. I'm going to try and dig it up and move it. I don't know. The dogs love this one. Maybe I'll just keep it really trimmed in, like trim off the branches that are going off to the side and just keep it on the corner. And I also think I'm going to dig up this row of border grass and get it out. That will open up so much more space for nectar plants, for butterflies. And those two salvias up there in those ugly blue pots, yeah, they got to be transplanted because I don't want to see those ugly blue pots in my videos. I want to see color from flowers, not plastic. But first, I'm going to grab this shovel and go move that rouge plant. All right, I've got the hole dug. It's got a great root base. See, now that is going to look really pretty in there if it survives its transplant, which I've moved these a few times before and they looked like they weren't going to make it, but then all of a sudden they came back. So I'm hoping the same will be true for this one. See, I'm here looking at this border grass again. If I take it out, it will go with my theme of having one side border grass and the other side the fence post, because there is a fence post down there under it. These are all the plants I pulled out of the Pentas garden in my last video, sitting out in front. But first I'm going to trim down that Snow Squarestem again. Try and get fewer branches spreading out and just leave the ones that are more going upright. See if I can't keep it a little bit more contained, because y'all saw how big this thing got over the summer. That was something else. You guys look, all the border grass is out. Do you see all of that space that is now opened up? Oh my gosh, and I think I knew exactly what I want to put in here. I have some Lantana depressa, variety depressa plants that is Florida native lantana, and I think I have 3 of them. So I think I'm going to put a row of them in here because this gets excellent sun, and the sun should be devoted to something that's going to feed butterflies, not big piles of border grass. So I'm going to put these out in my side garden. Well, now I kind of want to take out that border grass because, I mean, this is like one of the best, excellent sunspots. That's the border grass on the outside of my Florida native wetland garden. Only thing is, there's not a fence post, or is there? No, there's not a fence post there. Let me go around my garden, see if I can find a fence post I can steal and put in there. I found one. Look at that. There's a fence post back there in my work area. It's almost buried in passiflora incense vine that's gone dormant. All right, let's do it. Now, some border grass I like this border grass here covers up the plants that tend to get a little bit leggy at the bottom, like my pentas garden. And so I really like that there. But this strip of border grass right here isn't really doing anything but creating a definition. And so it doesn't need to be there. I'm not getting rid of all the border grass, but I'm getting rid of a lot of it. And I love how it opens up a garden bed. My garden assistants have arrived. They're so much help in the garden, making sure I do everything right. And they're adorable. This is where I am. Do you see what I left on there? Do you see that little clump of border grass? I mean, it couldn't be more right there. And here I was showing you a little bit ago. Look, I'm done. I moved it all. That's how observant I am. All right, over here, what I think I'm going to do is move that flame vine to the corner over there where that border grass is, because flame vine is not Florida native, but it's in my Florida native wetland garden. I'm going to get that breaking, leaning over little square planter out of there. It's full of, guess what? Tropical sage. So I'll find a nice place to move it. I don't think there's room for it in the little row I have behind me. And then I think I'll plant the native lantana down this side. And then on this side, I have a bunch of pentas that are like pink and white that are in pots that are growing back in my workspace. And I might plant that little row of lower growing pentas in right there. There's another pentas right here. I think it's a pink one, but I'll trim that down to the base where it's got all that fresh new growth coming up. And then that'll be great in here in this nectar garden, just pink and white. I think that'll be pretty. And you know, actually, all these potted things that are on raised plant stands, I can put in the ground in that space. And then it'll get everything a little lower and it won't block the view on down in the garden. And look at all those beautiful clay pots I have that I could put like zinnia seeds and things like that in them, let them grow and get tall, and then put them out and around in my garden. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is so much fun. You remember when I was just over there working, I said, I can't wait to plant that out. And now it's like, oh, forget that. I'm working on this now. But I love changing things up. Okay, let me get to it. I took every potted thing except for my pickerel weed and the hanging basket, and I've got that big pot there out of this garden space. Look how much planting room there is. So I'm gonna put a lot of this stuff in the ground, like my little plum crazy salvia has survived a year and freezing temperatures in this pot. It's doing just fine. So I'm gonna get this in the ground. Those pentas I told you about, there's one right there. Over here I also have two, cover your ears native plant lovers. I have two buddleias, but these are cultivars. They don't spread or become invasive or anything, but butterflies do love their flowers. I got them for 50% off the clearance at Lowe's, and I'll probably put them in the ground over there too, because they're lower growing, but yet they produce a lot of color. Even though they aren't now, it's because they were on the rescue. They just needed deadheaded and trimmed, and now they've got all these bald cypress needles in them. Y'all, I haven't had an empty bed to move pots around in and see how I want to lay it out in so long. So I think I'm going to do those two salvias surrounded by buddleia. Similar color story. I think it'll be beautiful. And then I'll plant all my random pentas in and around the edges, and then I'll put my tall plum crazy kind of right there in the middle. Okay, so let me update you. Today's Tuesday, and I had to pause my big garden adventure and take my cat to the vet. So I'm back home, but now I'm tired, and I'm gonna go in and get dinner and all that fun stuff. But I don't even remember where I left off filming, so we're just gonna have one more overall look at how things stand, and I'll continue working probably tomorrow. So here's the Florida native wetland garden. Now no longer has a border, and eventually probably going to have the Lantana depressa planted along there. I didn't get any of those potted things planted, but I did get some of the pentas in the ground. They're pretty sad looking, but they should grow back. I've got 3 of them in the ground up there, and look what's gone. That's a solar light that fell over. The Snow Squarestem is gone. It was just too big for this space, so I moved it, and hopefully it's going to survive. Actually, before I go in, I need to give it a good watering. Anytime you move a big shrub like that, you really want to water it in. So it is back along my back fence, right back here. And I mean, this is a great spot for it, because am I not always wanting something big that's going to grow up and tall? So, and it looks fine. I mean, it's still green. I moved it before I went to the vet. So I'm going to go give it a big drink, and we'll be checking back to see how it is. Whew. It's been a day. I've been to the vet twice. I had to take Ray this morning, and then my cat now. My cat, well, it's a long story. Ray's fine. My cat's going to be fine. She's an older cat. She's 12, and she's blind. And she had this growth on her eye that had to be removed. So she's been going through it, but she's the sweetest little thing. She was a feral cat. It took us a long time to get her tame enough to come up to us and move her in. And anyway, She's a little sweetheart and she's doing all right. So this is from the other side. Here comes Mr. Ringo. Look at him coming down. So cute. Now would be a good time to tap the like button. Now would be a great time to press subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I still have a lot of work to do out here. I'm excited about it. I love having all that heavy border grass moved out and space for more flowers. I love it. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's Wednesday and I haven't started working on those garden areas yet. I'm not sure what my inspiration will be for today, but right now I just trimmed off some high branches of this wild lime here. Now is a great time to shape and trim back your wild lime because it's less likely to have caterpillars on it. And I'm actually taking some good cuttings. I'm filling 2 more cuttings vases, aka my empty kombucha bottles, with wild lime, and I'm gonna split my caterpillars up over 2 bunches of wild lime instead of just the one because they're getting bigger. This is one of the branches I'm working with, and yes, I will check it for eggs. But I love these high branches because they have fewer thorns and they're much easier to work with. So I'm just trimming it down and putting some good end cuttings of the ends of the plants where the leaves are fresher in the bottles. All right, I forgot, look at all that gorgeous wild lime. Going in for the cuties. I don't think we've seen them in a minute, so that's good timing. Y'all came at the right time to see adorableness. Well, there they are, fresh paper towels, and about to move on to lots of fresh cuttings. All right, I've got them moved on. So I think I have 5, and there's 2 on one group of cuttings and 3 on this one. I just love how shiny and even that like creamy yellow color in the middle of their back, they're just look so much like bird poop, and then their little faces look like serpents. What a fabulous adaptation. I like this little guy's on the move, doing a U-turn. I love them, and let me tell you, I am so glad to have these guys when I don't have any caterpillars to raise. It's just a little sad. And these guys are getting me through the winter. Hopefully when they're ready to close, I'll start finding more in my garden, especially if our winter stays as mild as it's been. So I was out here editing what I have so far, and I decided I didn't like the order of the buddleia and the salvias, so I switched it up. I moved the flame vine, and on that, we're full. We got a full video, so I'm going to run in and edit this and get it up for you tonight. And this project will continue on. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe so you can see this whole section come to fruition. And just stay with me all year, because wait till you see when the butterflies come. It's incredible. Tap the like button And I'm going to show this to you, and I'll see you in the next video after that. Bye. See, I think it'll look better with salvia, the two buddleias, and the salvia. And then there is my flame vine on the end. And then I'll get the row of Lantana depressa. They get pretty big, so there's going to be some open space until they grow in, but I think that's going to be so awesome there. All right, I'll see you tonight. Make sure you say hi to me in the comments. Even just post an emoji for me. It makes the YouTube algorithm think you really love my videos. So comment away, and I'll see you real soon.